What's the move, YouTube? It's your boy D Smooth and Aidan Hutchinson, one of the top 5 pass rushers in the entire NFL, is back, ready to go from his factory fibula that he suffered against my Dallas Cowboys back up at AT&T Stadium early on in the season. And just to put things in perspective, Aidan Hutchinson had 7.5 sacks going into week 6 against my Dallas Cowboys. 7.5 sacks, not 2, not 3, 7.5. So let me break that down for you. And just in that little short time span, he was on his way to getting at least the high 10s. I'm talking about like 18, 19.5 sacks to possibly even 20. He literally had 40% success pass rush rate in the entire NFL. TJ Watt didn't get that until late in the season. Aidan Hutchinson was a defensive player of the year type of caliber player already pre-injury. He was already playing like a defensive player of the year before the injury. But now he suffered it, and the Detroit Lions tried to kind of push it all the way up to the Super Bowl, because he said if they was in the Super Bowl, he was going to go for it. Hell, he even tried to play again in the divisional round against the Washington Commanders. That didn't work out. So what happened to the Detroit Lions after Aidan Hutchinson left? They turned into a below average defense, if I'm being nice. And they also lost Marcus Davenport on the other side. So literally, Aaron Glenn had to blitz 70 to 80% of the time last year, because this is the thing about the Detroit Lions. As great as they was offensively, defensively, they was mid, they was poor, they was average, mainly because of defense. But Aaron Glenn did the best job that he could do as far as making that defense get the job done. And the way the Detroit Lions was set up after all these injuries happened to Aidan Hutchinson and on Marcus Davenport and the entire they lost guys in the linebacker core, the defensive line, the secondary. And man, you look up, everybody was hurt besides the offensive side, unless you still want to count David Montgomery, who they lost, but he ended up coming back at some point during the season. But the Detroit Lions, every time you look up, when they was in a shootout, the Detroit Lions couldn't have no slip-ups. They had to be on point. And there were times when they wasn't on point, like games against the Buffalo Bills, like games against the Washington Commanders in the postseason. We seen what happened. They damn near got belt to ass, and then they try to put some points up late in the game, but then it's too late after that. So the Detroit Lions need Hutchinson on the field at all times. They need that. I don't know what else to say. He is one of the top 5 pass rushers in the entire NFL, and also he's going to get a deal done this upcoming year. Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully y'all get Micah Parsons done, because you do know Hutchinson's next contract is going to succeed Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons was $40 million, and you see Myles Garrett agree to a deal with the Cleveland Browns. You see what's my boy Max Crosby to agree with a deal to the Las Vegas Raiders. So everybody taking care of their pass rushers except my damn team. So make this make sense for me. But Hutchinson is going to get taken care of probably before training camp for the Detroit Lions. Now the Detroit Lions going into this year, they did lose Aaron Glenn, who is a top flight defensive coordinator, now head coach for the New York Jets, trying to change that sorry culture up in there, try to turn that into a winning culture. So they may take a step back, because they may take a step back offensively and defensively, because you didn't just lose one coordinator, you lost both coordinators, and also both of them took guys from your coaching staff and brought them on with them. So you may see a little slippage with the Detroit Lions, but I don't think it's going to be a lot of slippage. I still think the Detroit Lions, without a doubt, talent-wise, they're still a top 3 seed in the NFC. Top 3 with ease. Now, as far as playing wise, I still believe they are a top 3 seed in the NFC. Will they take a little bit of a step back? Yes, they will. I could be wrong. A lot of us could be wrong. If you're not from Detroit, you don't think this team will take a step back. But a guy like Jared Goff needs to step his game up, because we don't know how this defense is going to look. Like I said, this defense was in a lot of shootouts last year. And the last shootout they was in was against the Washington Commanders. And rookie Jaden Daniels torched their ass. He cooked them. He got into the kitchen. He put some grease on in the kitchen, and he was cooking them. There was nothing that they can do. He turned them into straight fish. There wasn't lions. They was fried fish, and he fried their ass. So the Detroit Lions now coming into this year, now everybody's gonna be healthy. Yeah, you lost some coordinators. Yeah, you still got my boy Amara St. Brown. You still got Jared Goff. You still got the sonic duo of Montgomery and Gibbs. Jamison Williams, they're gonna be looking to take that next step. Sam Laporta gonna be looking to take that next step. They still have one of the top 5 offensive line in the game today. Dan Campbell still is an exceptional leader of men and exceptional head coach. But coming out the gate, you want to look at the Detroit Lions team, what their schedule gonna looking like, because there was not a good pass defense. There was a pretty good pass defense last year. I'm gonna take that back. It's just they were putrid in the running game. They was in the mid-20s as far as stopping the run, but they fixed that. Hopefully, they drafted a defensive tackle in the draft. They didn't really do a whole lot of defensive signings, but they did sign DJ Reed from the New York Jets, who is an exceptional number 2 corner, not number 1, but an exceptional number 2. So that's going to help boost their pass defense. They did not add a pass rusher on the other side, which I'm kind of surprised, because No disrespect to Marcus Davenport. Is he the same type of caliber as a Hutchinson that's going to create some havoc on the other side? At times, yes, but literally, no. So I was really surprised that they didn't address that, but I guess how they're looking at it is if we boost our secondary up, that's what's going to help the pass rush. Because when the quarterback has to hold the ball longer, that means they're giving your pass rush a little bit more time to go get there. I'm the type of person is build your defensive line, and that's going to help out your secondary because the ball got to come out fast. And when the ball got to come out fast, then your defensive backs can be aggressive. They can be hungry because if they know it's going to ball going to come out fast, I'm going to jump the route, a la Trayvon Diggs back in 2021 when you had a rookie Micah Parsons and Randy Gregory and D-Law. You had guys that can go get the quarterback. So when you send, even times where the Cowboys didn't blitz, they used their front four. Here you go, go jump that. Ron Bland, go jump that. Then you have an exceptional coach in Al Harris, who's the defensive backs coach for the Chicago Bears. So we're going to see what this Detroit Lions defense like. I still believe their offense is going to be putting up at least about 25 to 30 points a game. They're still going to do that. You still have the talent. You still have the personnel. Hopefully they keep the same scheme from when they had when Ben Johnson was there. But as far as defense, that's going to be the biggest key for this team because the offense can put up points. Even when the offense does get off to slow starts, the defense got to keep the scoring down, and they could not do that. Go ask the Los Angeles Rams. Go ask the Buffalo Bills. Go ask the Washington Commanders. They could not keep the score down, and then when the Lions tried to come back, it was already over with. It was too late. So we just look at the Detroit Lions schedule early on in the season. They're going to go up against some teams who are not going to only run the ball, but they can also throw the ball as well. You got the Green Bay Packers out the gate, divisional game. We all know how it is. The Detroit Lions own the Green Bay Packers as of late, but them tables can turn around very quickly. Then you got the Chicago Bears going up against your former offensive coordinator and Ben Johnson, who knows y'all like literally like peanut butter and jelly. He knows y'all well too much together. So that could be an L for him, and I believe that offense is going to be better with him having Caleb Williams and having the receivers and the weapons that they got, and he boosted up that offensive line. So we're going to see what that look like. Then you go up against Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, King Henry to be exact. The man rushed for 1,900 yards last year. We all know how great he is. We all know the Baltimore Ravens, their identity is being physical and running the football. The same identity as the Detroit Lions, being physical and running the football. So out of the gate, your first 3 games, you're going up against some high-powered offenses. Then you go to, forget the Cleveland Browns. We ain't even talking about them. I'm sorry, Shador. Then you got the Cincinnati Bengals with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow. Now, they're not much of a running team, but they do pass to open up the run. But that's still an offense that's going to put up 40 points on your ass if you don't take it serious. Then you go up against the following week, the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes in them. I believe they're going to have a chip on their shoulder after the way they got in the past Super Bowl. So that's another team out of the gate. I literally just named y'all 5 teams. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 teams that they're going to be going up against high-powered offenses in this upcoming season out the gate. Then hell, let me go a little bit more further. The Tampa Bay Bucks, Baker Mayfield. We all know what that offense can do last year. All they was missing was defense, and that they added some defensive players in the draft and in free agency, like signing Hassan Reddick to a 1-year deal, who I believe is already their best pass rusher on the team. Then you got the Minnesota Vikings. Anything else I need to say? JJ, Aaron Jones, my man TJ Hawkinson, Addison. That team can put up points in a hurry unless it's the postseason. And we're going to see what JJ McCarthy looks like. But that's going to be a November 2nd game. Then you got the Washington Commanders, a team that smoked y'all like a Cuban cigar in the divisional round in last year's postseason. So we already know what they can do. They may take a step up. They may take a step back. You got the Philadelphia Eagles. They was putting belt to ass to teams all year long. They're still going to want to stick to that identity of running the football with Saquon Barkley. So out of the gate, the Detroit Lions are going to have a nasty schedule. They may not win 14, 15 games like how they've been doing lately, being the number 1 seed in the NFC and all that, being the top 3 seed in the NFC. They may not be that. They may take a little bit of a step back, but we have yet to see. In order for the Detroit Lions to still win its division and still be one of the top 3 teams in the NFC, the defense has to get better. Hutchinson has to stay healthy the whole year long because this was a completely different defense pre-injury. And then after injury, it was a defense that blitzed a lot more than what they should have because the Detroit Lions, before pre-injury of Hutchinson, they preferred to just rush with their front 4. And Hutchinson was winning it most of the time. Now we're going to get to see if this defense can take that step up and get better and catch up with the offense, or is the offense going to continue to carry the load and while the defense is suffering and holding back the team. So we have yet to see. Hutchinson is back. He's fully healthy. He's going to get a new contract this upcoming year. And it's going to be interesting to see what the Detroit Lions do. If you haven't already, like the video, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. If you stay through the whole video, I love you. I got nothing but love for me. Welcome to the cookout. Y'all be smooth. I'll catch y'all in the next video.